Hi guys, it's Dan and Becky from
Bugs on the Windshield.
and today we're exploring our second day on the Alpine Loop, and it was an exciting day for a couple of reasons. We can't wait to share it with you. Day 2 of our off-road trip started out beautifully. We had breakfast together with our friends, and then we loaded up the razors with the camera gear, lunch, and thankfully our new Walmart rain gear.
Which might come in handy today.
Yes, thank goodness we had it. Yep, you guessed it.
The rain showed up.
Yes, it rained. Everywhere we've been this year, it's rained, even at home.
Every camping trip I think we've been on this year, we've gotten some rain.
But the rain really just added to our adventure. This turned out to be an awesome day. The drive out from the house to the trail was awesome. We came through an area with a gorgeous lake. I think it was called Lake San Cristobal. I'm not sure if that's how it's pronounced or not.
San Cristobal.
But anyway, we passed the lake and I was thinking, can we stop here? Lucky for us, we had a couple more days to enjoy the lake. We had such a great time in Lake City, and we loved the place we stayed, but it would be an amazing place to bring our camper. We saw lots of campgrounds along the trails. It's an idea for next time. We look forward to these off-road trips every year. Before the guys had razors or side-by-side, they had a guys trip every year. Now that they have the razors, the ladies get to come along as well. I have to say, I'm really glad to have a side-by-side now. I really enjoy the adventure. Our friend Jeff puts a lot of time and effort into planning these trips. We're excited and lucky to have Jeff back for another video. It's always a treat to listen to Dan and Jeff talk about the trail ride.
We had so much fun talking with Jeff on the last video that we thought we'd bring him back for another video.
Well, thanks. I appreciate you guys having me on.
Jeff is very knowledgeable about the terrain out there and the trails. He's been out there a couple more times than I have. I did see some beautiful waterfalls with all the extra snow melt that was coming down.
Yeah, I don't know what that waterfall is called along there, but that was a good photo opportunity for us in video.
Yeah. There was a lot of shelf roads too up here on this trail. This was starting to get a little more difficult in some of the trails on this one. Not so much, like say, hard rock crawling, but they were a little bit tighter. We had some water crossings.
They weren't real wide either. When we met somebody, I mean, a lot of these trails, like Cinnamon Pass, you can easily pass somebody coming at you. This trail, there was a lot of spaces where you had to pull over to let somebody by. Luckily, I think we were one of the first groups up for the day going up there because we didn't have hardly any traffic going up. Although coming down, we did meet quite a few people.
This day we were, what was the trails we were taking on this day?
Well, this is, we came up Cinnamon Pass, and we came up to Weiger Gulch, and then we're going up to the ghost town of Carson at this point.
Yeah,
Carson is a ghost town from, I guess it was real popular. It had its peak back around 1889, and supposedly there was 500 miners that were living up there, which is hard to believe because when you see the buildings up there, it doesn't look like there's any way there's that many people up there. So I'm sure a lot of the buildings are gone, and they mine for gold and silver up there. One thing I don't know if you remember, Dan, but when we went to this, I think what was it, 2004 was the first time we were up there?
Yes, I believe you're right.
So back then, all the trees were green and healthy. But if you look at the pictures and videos now, the pine beetles have killed the majority of the trees around Carson.
Yeah, I did notice
It's a lot
that.
different now than it did back then.
Yeah, you can see in this video here that the trees are a lot of those dead trees in the background. Me and Jeff have a pretty long history of riding together. It probably all started, I want to say, back when we were about 15.
Yeah, that's probably true. When my dad took us four-wheeling in the high country in Colorado back then, I think we went to Leadville, wasn't it? That was one of the places I know we ended up.
Yeah,
we went over Mosquito Pass to Leadville.
Yeah, and I think that instilled in us the respect of staying on the trails and taking care of the trail system that is out there.
Yeah, it's important. Majority of people stay on the trail, and that's great. We've always stayed the trail, and it's important to encourage other people to do the same.
Yeah, I agree. You know, this was the day that we ended up having, there was like a group following us this day. So every time place we went to, they seemed to show up. So we kind of kept moving.
Yeah, and that was a big group that came in behind us.
Yeah. We were looking for some place for lunch. And we were trying to get away from the big crowds.
Yeah, there was a lot of people out that day. But we did work our way back down to Cinnamon Pass. And then we went up towards the top of Cinnamon Pass, but we stopped short of the top because we could see the weather was moving in, and there was a good chance of rain every day we were out there. But this day, I think there was like a 60% chance of rain in the afternoon.
And the one thing about the rain out there, if it does rain, it doesn't take very long for the trails to dry up. I did discover that. They don't stay wet very long.
And that does keep the dust down, too. This trail seemed a little dustier than what we dealt with the day before.
Yeah, you can kind of see a little bit of the dust, especially with people coming by. And here's some more of that avalanche debris.
Yeah, and it's hard to tell in this picture here, but if you look, some of the debris is actually going uphill at that point. And I believe this is one of those avalanches where we could see where it came down the valley on one side and came up the valley on the other side.
You know, that's a lot of force coming down, pushing it back up that other side.
Another avalanche area zone.
You think about it, like say we're up pretty high up there at this point, so that avalanche, you wouldn't think it'd be as strong because it wouldn't be as high up and get as much momentum. But it was still able to pretty much level all those trees out.
I believe this is where we stopped for lunch, and you can see the storm clouds to the east moving in. And I think at this point we decided we probably should go all the way around the Alpine Loop.
Yeah, we did kind of cut our day a little bit shorter just to get back. Yeah, because this is where we met those people. That was that group of people that were coming up.
Yeah, that's that group coming up to Carson. There was plenty of them. I think there was 11 of them, I think the guy said.
Yeah.
kind of common courtesy to let the first rider know or everyone know how many are behind you. And I think the first guy told me there's 11 vehicles behind him.
Yeah, the one thing about riding through the trails, especially with a group, you always have to use hand signals is what we commonly use. Your first rider will display a number of fingers based on how many people are behind him. The last guy basically just kind of shows his fist. At least you can kind of know, what you're dealing with and what you got to look, what's down the road if you need to stop or pull over, especially in some of these tight, twisty turns.
It's good to have an idea if there's more coming or not.
One advantage that we all had radios. So the lead rider could tell us how many were coming down the trail and what obstacles were ahead of us. Now here's us coming off the trail.
Yeah, we're pulling off Liger Gulch. I think we're ready to get back on Cinnamon Pass.
And it's very important to make sure you drink lots of water while you're up there. Even though it was very hot, you still get dehydrated. So we definitely made a lot of breaks for water.
Yeah, that helps fight off the altitude sickness too. A lot of people don't drink enough water when they come up to the high elevation, and starts affecting them after the first day. So the more water you can drink, the better when you first come out to the high country in Colorado. Actually, now we're heading down from lunch, aren't we?
Yeah, we just had lunch and we were heading down. Actually, I think we're heading back at this point because we saw some storm clouds and we're thinking that maybe a good idea to get closer to town. Because you can look over you can't really quite see it here, but when you come around this ridge here, you'll see it starts to get a little darker.
And as we were eating lunch, we could hear the thunder in the background, so we knew something was coming in.
Yeah. And you definitely don't want to be up in the high country during a lightning storm.
No, there's not much room for cover up there.
But you can see that there was some puddles of water here, so you know it had been raining,
Yeah, we knew we were going to get into it because we could see evidence of the rain on the road in front of us. There's another big avalanche area.
It surprises me with that creek or that river, I guess it would be down there, with all the debris going in there, that it didn't clog more of that up.
Yeah, apparently the water as it melted in the spring just kind of cut a tunnel underneath it.
This was one of my favorite shots here because you can kind of see the riders in front of us on the trail, how it kind of basically rides along the ridge here with the overlook of the river down below.
Yeah, this is definitely a shelf road here. It's a good drop off the side there.
I mean, it's
so it gives us good views off of there.
Yeah.
Look at how the trees are blowing. You can tell the storm is close.
Yeah, it was starting to pick up, and you can, like I said, it's with these mountain ranges, you really hard to see where exactly it's at until you get to a pretty good size opening.
One thing good about the Colorado storms is they don't usually last real long. if you get caught in a rainstorm in Colorado, chances are in 20 minutes it's going to stop. Very rarely do we ever get a day full of rain.
Yeah, you can see that you can definitely see the rain clouds here where it's kind of opened up a little bit, and we're not going that fast, but just,
I was going to say, even though the video looks like we're doing 120, I don't think we're going quite that fast.
yeah, but it has been sped up. So
Now that tree that was down in the road back there, that was new. That wasn't down when we were coming up, so the wind had blown that tree down.
the funny thing was when we were coming into town, we were noticing a lot of ATVs that were dirty. I mean, just muddy, and we were thinking
The ones coming uphill.
Yeah, and we were
Dirty,
thinking,
you're right.
we were thinking, well, they're getting something. I mean, because it's one thing to get dust, you get dusty, but to get muddy, you have to have the element of water.
Well, luckily, yeah, we had our rain gear with us, and it kept us dry for the most part. And we had some jackets and blankets and things like that to kind of cover up with, and the roof over the RZR. It was a little chilly, though, when it rained.
Yeah, they cooled off quite a little bit when the rain came in. Here's some photos that you took that really were pretty. I really like this video, or this picture here that you took. Not that one, but
Thank you.
just kidding.
That's a good one.
No, that was a good
You guys
one.
look good in there.
That was a good one. This was really pretty here though, with the sunset behind it.
Yeah, we got lucky with the lighting that night. The way the clouds set in after that storm, and when the sun was setting, it lit the clouds up real nice.
Fortunately, though, being at where we were at, we were able to get some really good, I think, really good star pictures.
And I know you and I both got some good shots of that Milky Way.
There's not a lot of light noise out there.
You're right, there's very little light pollution out there. And you can see the Milky Way just plain as day with the naked eye. So it was really beautiful out there.
Yes, we agree. It was beautiful out there. What a great day and an awesome ride. We appreciate you, Jeff. It's a lot of fun having you on our channel. We hope you'll join us again soon.
Stay tuned for our next video from our off-road trails on the Alpine Loop.
If you like our video, please give it a thumbs up. And what would really be cool is, if you like our channel, please subscribe.
Yeah, so be cool.